Hello, everyone. I'm Rob Smith, the Smith of the Black Channel here, Ticker Talker, and it's time for the Strat Time Report. And what is going on today? Boy, they got a heavy sector rotation. So let's take a look here. SPY first. Right, so SPY, we know yesterday started off the week here in the upper left. Two up, two down. Right, so there's your first warning shot right there. Now, on a Tuesday, we want to see if that follows through or we go two back up. Right now, it's following through to the downside, and no more threat on the month. You can see this here, but that's how it starts. And so if you go to the weekly, here's where you'd have your first weekly reversal. If you could take this out below 410.20, all right, we don't quite do that. Well, it looks like we equal ticks. Let me see here, 410.20. 410.62. So you've got some room on that. So 410.20 is going to be important on the weekly to see if we can get that discernible break, or if it's just a little pullback here. If you go to QQQ here, a little worse. So the Qs did the same thing yesterday and then followed through and poked down a little bit on that week. So we're going to focus on that if you can break that, because we know the monthly hit magnitude by going to the highs, and this is where your exhaustion risk kicks in. Not the end of the world just yet, but for the rest of the week, below 334.73 is something I'm going to want to know about. And here's your QQQ 15-minute broadening formation, goes down there, reverses here, and now trying to firm up just a tad. If you go to your 60, you'll see this here. So get another boost if they can try and bring that back up. If we go to the Dow Jones Diamonds here, and you can see the same deal, two up and then down and then following through. Still got some room on this one too, so on the weekly. So the weekly would start to run into some trouble in the Dow Jones Diamonds below 335.49. Small cappers, we know, pretty much going inside month. And kind of stuck in there, but it is red on the month, and you're taking out last week's lows. So we got a little bit more of a push there. You can see this tight broadening formation, higher high, lower lows in here, and now everything looking pretty similar on those 60s for right now as we take a little break. So what they were doing is certainly just rotating into defensive posture, but I want to be clear about exhaustion risk. And so what that means is, it doesn't mean the end of the world. It just means anytime like the Qs go into the highs or anything goes into the highs, you need the buyers to step up because you don't have any pivots to take out anymore, all right? And so you'll see we hit a lot of magnitude already. You had the Qs hit magnitude by being these 2 months being an outside bar of that. Yesterday, Amazon finished the job. Here, remember looking at this. Outside month, two down, two up to take that out. And it did it. So these two are an outside bar of this. Then you come in today, look at that dink out, boom, 2-2 reversal back down, because we know NVIDIA here also inside day calls the high, right, from yesterday, 212 back down, because it did its job. It was supposed to take this out, which it did, right? We knew about that. And then you hit your exhaustion risk, and there it is. So we need to look for some weakness because we started to lose SMH, semiconductors, right? Last week we're two down on the week. Question is, were you going to negate that by going back up? So far, not so much. Still selling that and getting back into here. And we knew the semis were weaker because they weren't strong enough to go into the highs, right? That was our first alert on that. And then as NVIDIA did, right? So then NVIDIA starts to come in, every reason to believe it's going to sell off because the other ones were weak. If we go to some scanning, right? What are they doing? So here, I always try and tell you, I'm like, if you just know how to scan, you're going to know what the market's doing. So here, let's go by volume. And this is last week's highs. Who's taking out last week's highs? Well, you got Pfizer, you got Johnny John, you got Coke, you got Procter, right? That's telling me XLP, right? Maybe some Dow, Walmart, or Dow, a little stronger. Mondelez, there's more XLP. Colgate, that's more XLP. Pepsi, XLP, right? All this kind of stuff tells you what they're doing. Letter O, you got some Reits in there. UNH, you got some healthcare with Johnny John. All that tells you what's going on. Then if you go to last week's lows, who's taking out last week's lows? United Airlines, American Airlines, that's telling me pandemics and airlines. CCL, pandemic. All right, NCLH, pandemic. You got Boeing, so that's more pandemic stuff. You got some Citicorp in there. You got some Delta, more airlines. Oxy, you got energy, right? There's your MU, taking that out. So you can see, and you can see this list is growing, right? You're going to see also some energy, APA. You can see more energy in there, SU. It's telling us exactly what's going on and what they're doing, right? Not that hard. When you do it, there's RCL, more pandemics. So if we go back here, let's take a look, see now. So what they were doing here was rotating into a defensive posture to start off the day, XLU. Here, you can see this XLU already coming up here, right, and having a nice little month here on the Utes, trying to take these out, and a couple that we look at, and we'll be looking at some at the Strat Attack tonight. It's Tuesday, and here, AWK, you can see this outside month, pokes down, boom, just like Amazon, we're looking to take this out, right? You've got NEE, pretty much all of them. And that's the good thing about a heavy sector rotation. They're buying like almost every utility right at the same shot. That's good. AEP, how you doing? There you go. And so all of them coming up together. They also were rotating into some of the towers. S-back. Baby got S-back. Now selling off just a little bit, but reversal here. 2 down, 2 up monthly. And that tells us to look at American Tower. That tells us to look at CCI. All right, you can see they're all trading very similar together there. If we go to, let's take a look at that Johnny John. Why not? And Johnny John here trying to come up in RevStrat the month. Inside bar, pokes down here. So we're looking for this thing if we can break above 167.03, sitting there right now. But here's how you set that up, right? On the weekly, so it's a 2 down. Back to previous range. These two are going to be coming outside bar of that to trigger this, you see? So Johnny John having a nice green day here. Keep an eye on that. So with that XLP, that's going to tell us what we already knew. Procter & Gamble, big outside day to the upside. Now an outside week. Here, we'll see if that sets up again. You're going to have your Colgates. Here, having a nice day, and here's what you look for. Here's your turnaround Tuesday, folks. 2 down on a Monday, and bam, right there. That's exactly what you're looking for. And there's Colgate, and that's taking out this monthly highs too. If you go to Clorox, little bleach, nice outside day to the upside, taking last week's highs here. You see that? 2 down, 2 up. That's what you look for. And in the hopes, if it's going to keep going, you're going to take this out. 196.66. If you can get up there, you can get a little bit more out of the Clorox. Kimberly-Clark. Here, nice day, boom. Outside weaker to the upside. How's Mondelez? And Mondelez to a lesser extent. So if we go to, also had some healthcare. ANTM. Here, still having a nice day and still exhaustion risk. It goes into the highs, right? But we were looking for it. Remember that 2 months ago. Outside month, pokes down. So we want to see if the other ones continue to do that as well, because it did it. UNH did it, and now I'm still watching Humana. Here, got a little more magnitude to take this out after this reversal. Still good, so I'd keep an eye on Humana. If we go to gold, and gold, still 2-2-month reversal, 2 down, 2 up, so that's good, and that tells us to keep an eye on like AEM here on the 2-2 reversal month here. Still good. RGLD here, inside bar, pokes down, boom, RevStrat month are going, so we can keep an eye on that. How about GOLD? And GOLD still inside month to the upside, so we'll see how that goes. Things drying up here just a tad. We also had the Reits coming up here, and Reits now it's inside 60 up in here in VNQ, and that's going to tell us it's like PSA having a nice day. EXR, they trade together, having some nice days over there. Some bio coming up here just a little bit. EW, here's RevStrat month, inside bar, pokes down, boom, comes back through there and having a nice little day, and now inside on the 60. Amgen was coming up as well here a little bit. You can see that on the Tuesday. This was a 2 down, and then you come in today and boom, you take that out. These two become an outside bar of that, you see? And it changed and is already green on the week, right? So that's something we like to look for. If we go to the downside, like I said, pandemics all over the place. EXPE. Here's your turnaround Tuesday. 2 up. Boom, back to the previous range. These 2 bars become an outside bar of all that and change that back to red on the week. That's something I'd want to know about. It's going to tell us to look at TripAdvisor. Same deal. Poke up on a Monday and boom, back to the previous range Tuesday, and there you go. Change that thing red and go outside on the week. And now it could get worse if you can take this month out below 46.67. Almost there. Trip. We go to Wynn Resorts. Wynn Resorts going after the month here, taking out last month's lows. That's a problem below 120.81. You're there right now. You see on that weekly, you had the inside bar, then two up, RevStrat continuation this week. These three becoming now an outside bar of that. You see, nice little day going on there. If you go to LVS, tells you look at LVS. LVS also still having some problems. Got a little bit more room to take this out. That would help. If we can get that down on the, excuse me, on the month below 48.50, would get that thing going. We got Marriott. You want to go to hotels? Nope. Marriott's still an inside month. Right, you can see this taking out a bunch of this week here with a nice big long red day here below this. Would get my attention. 138.97, you got a little bit more room. Letter H here would be nice if we can take this out below 78.18. All right, taking out all last week's lows, all that kind of stuff. Airlines. Oof, got a little bit more room on that, but you can see United having a rough day here. Now trying to go inside and down on the 60. That was Delta. Still got some room on that month. American Airlines. Also having some problems to get a little bit more room on the month. If we go to Boeing. Boeing taking all of these 3 weeks out. Still got some room on the month, but having a tough day here, Boeing, with more pandemic stuff. Right now, watching that new 60. Always watching that new 60. That's why we call the bottom of the hour the flip. You see, you had some recovery in here, but as soon as the bottom of the hour started again, they're starting to sell off again. All right, that's what we want to know about. All right, now you got some distance not to be inside on the spine cues on the 60, but you can see a tone change right at the bottom of the hour. They started hitting them again. If we go to Honeywell, some of them big smokestackers back through previous range, inside day on a Monday. And then boom, back to the previous range to stop all these guys out in one shot. That'd be in more trouble if you can take this out that week below 225.56. Getting a little closer as that. If we go to energy, XLE here, trying to take out last month's lows below 47.26. You're there now. If you go to OIH, taking out last month's lows, and that's going to give you Halliburton's. It's going to give you Slab. All right, it's going to give you Oxy. Here, all below last month's lows. So when they came in, they started selling some energy right out the chute. Conoco, you can see that now. So we'll see if that continues. Right now, the weakness on the new hour continues. If we go to some financials, FAS. Also getting hit and taking out last week's lows, right? It's JP Morgan. How you doing, buddy? JP Morgan trying to take out last week's lows and following through yesterday's selling. Now inside on the 60, getting closer to taking out that month. You had Capital One coming in here a bit. A bunch of them. Prudential. Here getting hit. Citicorp. So you can see Citicorp getting hit pretty hard on the inside day on a Monday, and down she goes. Inside on the 60, like a few things here. So we'll see if we can get weak enough to take that stuff out. If we go to some retail, Ross Stores coming down. You can see that following through yesterday's selling, taking out last week's lows. You've got GameStoppers coming in here just a tad, but we'll see. Inside on the 60 right now, that gets my attention. LB to a certain extent. Here coming in, taking out last week's lows, right? 2-2 reversal on that. So you can see they're coming in to sell a little bit of retail, maybe some Deckers. And then more magnitude hit and retrace would be eBay. Here, eBay did its job, right? It was supposed to go 2 up, 2 down and take this out. It did it. And then boom. 2-2 reversal on a Tuesday, back down, changing that week back to red, you see, here on this thing. If we go to Twitter, and Twitter taking out last week's lows, and we can expect that because it's still an inside month, right? Back and forth we go as it consolidates. So it just triangles these guys out a little bit, stop them out. Then the 2-2 reversal back down for the tweets. Looks like I'm running out of time again. Also had some weakness in the home builders this morning. Home builders just an exhaustion risk going into the highs. But now you can see that inside day back to the downside, and you're going to see your KBHs and KBH getting hit. How's Toll Brothers, DHI, so all of them getting hit across the board. So right now, it's discernible where they're going, right? That's the good part. Now it's a matter of whether they follow through. Now we'll just keep an eye on these broader averages every hour, and they'll tell you what's going on. Right now, we're back for sale, folks. All right, that's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith, the Smith Black Channel here at TikTok with Strat Time Report.